This is the San Francisco 49ers Report. Chase Sr. here with you, and there's a lot to get into here on the show. The Niners and Niner fans just got the worst news possible on Brock Purdy's injury status going into week 2 against the Saints. We have more Niners injury news on top of that. Why San Francisco signed Eddy Pineiro to replace Jake Moody. Kyle Shanahan kept it real for why the Niners moved on from Moody. And we have some Saints injury news to get to as well. Before we get to all of that, subscribe to the channel. It's free. If you want to become a more informed Niners fan, I always have you covered with Niners coverage coming your way every single day, year-round. We put up 2 long-form shows yesterday, and on those 2 Tuesday shows combined, 528 new subscribers. In the process, we surpassed 168,000 subscribers. Hop on board, lock us in, hit that sub button. You won't regret that decision. This is the worst news possible on Brock Purdy. He goes down the field against the Seattle Seahawks in week 1, 6 of 6, the 45-yarder to Ricky Pearsall. Then he improvises, buys time, and creates a magical play to hit Jake Moody with that 50-50 ball to give San Francisco the win. And you're thinking, what a game in his first game since getting that $55 million per year contract. It can only go up from here, and he answered a lot of questions with that performance, right? He had struggled late in games that were close or when the Niners were down, and he overcame some demons to a certain degree against a really good defense in a very tough environment. I wanted to see Purdy continue to build off of that. Looks as though, we're going to have to wait a little while before we potentially see him back in game action. Kyle Shanahan, first of all, said it's a long shot for Purdy to play against the Saints in week 2. Okay, we can get by with not watching Purdy for at least a week because he's a very fun quarterback to watch. He's the face of the franchise. But then Shanahan was asked a follow-up question, and he said this could be a multi-week injury for Purdy. We're talking about the toe here, not necessarily the shoulder. The toe is a lot worse than the shoulder, and it's the toe which could keep him out for an extended period of time. Last year, the Niners were number 1 in injury rate among the 32 teams in the NFL. This year, easiest schedule in the NFL. Now, they will have their work cut out for them without their franchise quarterback. And now it becomes the Mac Jones show. And I'm a believer in Mac Jones' ability. I applauded this addition when the Niners made it official in NFL free agency. I think he's a really good scheme fit for Kyle Shanahan because he can run the offense, play point guard, get the ball out on time, in rhythm to his playmakers. He had a really good training camp. The lone preseason action that he had, the 50-yarder downfield to Jordan Watkins, really good pitch and catch. But what I'm worried about is Mac Jones behind this offensive line, because he has no mobility, and he's a statue in the pocket. And in week 1, what do you know? This Niners offensive line struggled once again. Purdy was pressured on 57.9% of his dropbacks. That was the highest rate of his career. Under pressure, Purdy completed 13 of 20 passes, 126 yards, a touchdown, and 2 picks. Purdy's ability to use his feet, his legs, and his athletic ability has bailed this Niners offensive line out so many times because he can escape pressure. He can create out of structure. He did it with the game-winning touchdown to Jake Moody. Mac Jones can't do that. And so Shanahan's going to have to call plays and have a game plan where Jones has to get rid of the ball quickly. And then if the pocket breaks down, he has no chance really of escaping because he's slow-footed. And you look at this Niners 2025 schedule, Purdy going to be out at least against New Orleans on the road. Then the Niners come home for 2 home games against the Cardinals and the Jags. Then you have the Rams on Thursday Night Football, on the road against the Buccaneers after a mini bye. Then you play the Falcons on Sunday Night Football. And then week 8, you're on the road against the Houston Texans. You're already without George Kittle for at least the next 4 games. How long will Purdy be out? Let's pray to the football gods that he can recover very quickly. Elsewhere on the Niners injury report, these players not participating in practice today. Purdy listed with the left shoulder and toe injuries. Wide receiver Jawan Jennings, although he has a chance to play on Sunday. Left tackle Trent Williams struggled a bit against the Seahawks in week 1. Knee and a veteran rest day. Running back Christian McCaffrey, he said his calf injury going into week 1 was no big deal, but he's listed with a calf and veteran rest day today. Yetur Gross-Matos had 3 pressures on Sunday. Good to see him back. He's very athletic. He can play defensive end and defensive tackle. Did not participate with a knee injury. And then a rest day for Bosa as well. These players limited. Left guard Ben Barch, knee and elbow. He's always hurt. Wide receiver Jordan Watkins, the rookie, 4th-round pick out of Ole Miss, still dealing with that high ankle sprain. And then running back Jordan James with the finger injury. And what's been interesting to monitor is the betting line for the Saints-Niners game. San Francisco originally 7-point favorites, touchdown favorites going up against an inferior opponent. And it's a difficult place to play, and the Niners have to play early West Coast time. It's a 1 p.m. Eastern tilt. In the last hour, the line has gone down from Niners as 4.5-point favorites to San Francisco giving 3 points to New Orleans. Injury news? It'll do it, especially to your starting quarterback. Some Saints injury news. These players not participating in practice here today. Safety Julian Blackmon. He was really good in that week 1 game against Arizona as the Saints took that game down to the wire. New Orleans had just added him recently, late in the offseason, but he's going to go on IR, unfortunately, for New Orleans. Left guard Trevor Penning out with the toe for practice. Talise Fuaga, knee. And then former Niner defensive end Chase Young with a hamstring injury. Still to come here on the show, coming up just around the corner. Why did the Niners sign Eddy Pineiro to replace Jake Moody? What did Kyle Shanahan say about the Niners moving on from Jake Moody? And this news just in, San Francisco has signed a tight end as well. Our sponsor for today's 49ers Report, our friends at Chubby's. You can't miss this deal right now. $10 off using the promo code CHATSPORTS at chubbyshorts.com/chatsports. If you like the Niners Chubby's polos I've worn, well, that discount applies. $10 off using that code CHATSPORTS. The leaves are turning. Come on, it's football season. The temperatures are dropping, and the weekend air is getting that nice autumn crisp. Just because the weather is changing over doesn't mean you have to pack away the fun. Chubby's is here to make sure your fall wardrobe hits harder than a PSL on a slow Sunday morning with soft, stretchy, fall-ready staples built for maximum comfort and minimal effort. Mark your calendars. The Chubby's Fall Collection dropped September 9th, and it's packed with cozy gear that brings the metaphorical and real heat. Later this month, they're launching the new Comfort Collection featuring the Everywhere Jogger. It's the perfect pant for impromptu naps, weekend errands, lounging around watching football, and everything in between. So here's the deal. Whether you're layering up for tailgates, lounging through lazy Sundays, or just leaning fully into fall comfort, Chubby's has you covered. For a limited time, Chubby's is giving our listeners $10 off your order with the code CHATSPORTS at chubbyshorts.com/chatsports. That's code CHATSPORTS at chubbyshorts.com/chatsports. Support the show. Let them know that we sent you with Chubby's. We'll put that link down below in the show notes and attached to the pinned comment. All types of different looks and designs if you use that link down below. All right, we move forward here on the show to the back half of it. A couple of other things that I want to touch on here. Why did the San Francisco 49ers waive Jake Moody? Kyle Shanahan kept it a buck. It wasn't that much of a decision. When you're missing kicks frequently and easy kicks, I'm sorry. Team has to move on from you. And when you're a third-round pick, when you're a high-round draft pick in the NFL, you're naturally going to get more opportunities than, let's say, a late-round pick or an undrafted free agent. San Francisco gave Moody a bunch of opportunities and ample chances for him to save his job, and he couldn't do it. He kept hitting uprights. He kept sailing kicks to the right and left. Here's what Shanahan said further. To a degree, this will give him a chance to move on and find a place where he can get his swag back. And some people in the building had noticed, and obviously we noticed this as fans, just by the look of Moody's eyes. He had lost confidence in himself. And when you lose confidence as a kicker, it is such a mental game, you're just kind of cooked. It's like a golfer, right? You can pipe a drive 350 yards down the heart of the fairway. Then how often have we seen golfers, after they have a good hole, a good few holes, a nice little stretch, just completely fall apart and lose their confidence. And sometimes that can last a little while. Same thing for a kicker. You start missing one kick, then it becomes 2 and 3 kicks. You start to lose your confidence, and then you step back there, you trot onto the field for a big kicking opportunity. You just have no confidence in yourself, but you also feel the pressure so much more because it's so much more amplified. And in year one, Moody kicked pretty damn well. I know he missed that game winner against the Cleveland Browns, and that hurt San Francisco. But in the regular season, 21-25, he led the NFL in extra points because the Niners' offense was so elite that year. He was 2 of 3 on kicks of 50-plus yards. Field goal percentage, solid. Not great, but solid at 84%. Last year, it really unraveled and it fell apart for Moody. He started the year well. Then he had that ankle injury in week 5. He came back from it, and he was never the same guy. 24 of 34, atrocious from deep, 4 of 9 from 50-plus yards, and you're just not going to be long for the NFL if you have a field goal percentage of 70.6%. And then in week 1 against Seattle on Sunday, he clanks that field goal from 27 yards off the left upright. Another kick gets blocked. Kyle Shanahan couldn't take it any longer. San Francisco had to move on and cut their losses and admit that drafting him in the 3rd round was idiotic and it can't happen again. Just a dumb way to operate as a business and to do business. Now, why was Eddy Pineiro signed? Shanahan said, we thought he was the best guy available. The Falcons did offer him a practice squad spot, but Eddy Pineiro got an opportunity to sign with the Niners active roster. That's all he needed. Of note for Atlanta, Younghoe Koo missed a potential game winner in week 1 for Atlanta, and so they're bringing in kicker competition. Pineiro is actually one of the more accurate kickers in the history of football. I believe he's top 5 all time in field goal percentage for his career, 88.1%. 111 field goals made in 126 attempts. 32 of 41 from 40 to 49 yards. Better from 50 plus, ironically, 11 of 14. And for Pineiro, easy choice for him. I want to win games, I want to be a part of a good culture. I'm in my 8th year of my career, and I want to win. I know that Brant Boyer overlapped with him with the New York Jets a couple of years ago, so he has familiarity with Eddy Pineiro. That probably helped the situation for both parties, honestly. And then also the Niners just signed a tight end. George Kittle is hurt. He's on injured reserve. They are adding Messiah Swinson to the practice squad. He is a huge tight end who's a solid blocker, 6'7", UDFA following the 2024 NFL draft. He had signed with the Green Bay Packers. Now he's with this Niners ball club. We'll see if he's an active game day elevation. I imagine, though, it will be Braden Willis to start. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I always have you covered with the best, most elite Niners coverage right here on YouTube. And as always, thanks for watching.